Do you think Jay-Z could be successful musically now today? Because there's talks that Jay-Z can't connect with the youth. Is that there's a gap. Kanye, he still could tap in with the youth, the young niggas, the T.I., 50, like every superstar can tap in with the youth. And they're saying, you know, Jay is a little disconnect there.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to tap in with the youth. That is for people who are lower level than Jay-Z. Let's just keep it 100. He doesn't have to connect with the youth anymore. He damn near don't even got to connect with black people no more. Keep it 100. He's so rich and he's so above somewhere else that it's like, I don't think he has to play by anybody's rules but his own. That's why he came out with the 444 and was like, this is what I'm doing. If y'all niggas don't fuck with it, I don't care, you know?
But for him to sell records, he definitely got to connect with the black people.
Well, maybe that's an overstatement, but I don't think he has to connect with the youth, especially because you see people, older rappers right now, they're doing better than the younger ones. So if we keeping it 100, the older niggas are really doing better and carrying hip hop way more than the Lils, way more. To me, at least from and,
like
I'm
name,
a Jay-Z.
Name some.
You got Kanye, he's older. You got Push. You had Clips. You had
40's doing well.
Who?
Snoop, E40.
Snoop. You had
they killed me in the comments.
We need that interview.
You had 2 Chainz and Larry June drop an album with The Alchemist. You had
I ain't hear about that.
Schoolboy Q still dropping. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that are older when you would look at like Lil Uzi.
Would Kendrick be considered old in rap right now?
Now he would be.
Yes.
I feel like,
So you can count him too.
Because he pushing 40.
But he connects with the youth.
But he does, but he has a more mature audience. Like, how many kids you think was listening to Let God Sort Them Out? But that was one of the #1 albums. Let's really keep it 100. So I don't think Jay needs the kids. I think he's built a fan base just like Kanye over the last 20, 30 years where y'all have grown with him. So y'all gonna go to the concerts, y'all gonna buy the albums, you're gonna at least hear it out off rip just because it's Jay. So I don't think he has to connect with the youth anymore. I think him doing that at all is just the olive branch to them. Because like how he went and did the interview with the GQ dude. He could have picked some super industry person. He wanted to do that with dude just to, hey man, I'm coming down here, I'm showing you I'm for the people, but he don't gotta do that.
I feel go ahead, sure.
All right. I think at this point now, Jay he's selling success now. That's who his demographic is. You want to be successful, you want to get out the rat race, do what I'm doing. Invest in art, talk about money, talk about investing and all that type of stuff. I think now his demographic is if you want to make it out the hood, if you want to change your lifestyle, listen to my music and I can sell you that capitalistic dream that we were just talking about. That's what he's going to be influenced. That's who he's selling to. So if you want to be successful, listen to my music. I think that's what Jay is going to appeal to now moving forward because that's where, with the GQ magazine.
I believe everybody has to connect with the youth. I think once you disconnected from the youth, you're no longer. And what I mean is it's the youth that's going to these shows that's got people like Kanye still selling out. It ain't really them old people from his generation going to his shows like that. You might got older women. How many grown men Jay-Z age going to his shows and screaming?
I think a lot. They going with their wives.
I don't know none. Like, I don't see him. Most people I see, you either from maybe late 30s. That's it. That's probably people. I'm just saying though. Yeah. What I mean, late 34, 35. That's young. That's still it's young, but it's still sketchy. Far as you're not getting nobody. How old is Jay-Z? Almost 50.
I think he's over 50 now.
He's not getting nobody that came at his age going to his concert.
I don't agree
though. Everybody taps in. The youth. A lot of these niggas get old and they start wanting to be around the youth to still. You got to learn the youth language. You got to learn certain things to stay relevant. Certain rappers we still listen to is because they're able to use words. It's like, oh damn, he probably still be in the hood a little bit. He still be around his homies. 444 was something different, but even he said that was some of his hardest shit he had to put out.
Mm-hmm. But
I think you're right. I think you do got to stay
Drake is a perfect example of you have to stay tapped in, but when you hit a certain age, I think that should be less of your worry. So when you make a 444, you're trying to get the older people to come out and listen to the music because you've matured. So you're not really rapping to what can I say to an 18-year-old right now that
it'd
we
be
gonna connect?
Inauthentic. Yeah,
it's not gonna work. That's when you see Drake. He like
Tupac
I'm
music,
a dog. Woof woof. Niggas like what?
Tupac music is still relevant to this day.
But Tupac was 25 though. He was.
But this is my point. It doesn't matter if you're a youth now. You still can relate to some type of Tupac music to this day. If you make timeless music, which he's capable of doing, then you can still connect. Now another question, because this will make more sense to me. Do y'all think this is what matters to me? Do y'all think messaging matters in music now? That's the problem. Is it messaging or is it just you got to create a bop that people can dance to? Because even Jay-Z made bops, but that wasn't his whole demographic. He was painted as a hustler. He giving you game in his music, and there was messages in his music. He has substance. Now, if that doesn't matter, then then we can X him out.
I think messaging matters more than ever. There's literally been no music charting from rap. And the last music that has
9
charted besides Drake was Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know Kendrick put messaging in his music on every album. So I think even when you look at the GOATs, if you talk about the GOATs, they all have substance over than just trying to create bops. If you want to talk about from the inception of hip hop to today, whoever you got in that top 5, I guarantee you that top 5 all got substance from top to bottom.
Yeah,
I agree. You got to have substance in it. For me, it's very important. But for the TikTok, for the youth, I feel like it just got to be a bop. I mean, most kids, they not even listen to the lyrics like that. They just want to hear their favorite part to dance to or do some type of TikTok movement with the music right now.
And you got to think about it too. Like hip hop is what, 50 years old?
Yeah.
So again, these people that Jay-Z's 50, he's almost as old as hip hop. So a lot of the fans, and hip hop is a young genre anyway, where you have 40-year-olds, you have 50-year-olds, whatever, that are still to a degree youthful. So I feel like you don't have to necessarily connect with them to have all the way to have a little bit of the youthfulness just because we're in hip hop in general. I feel like that's how it goes.
I think you do though, because when you think about the artists that they deem as like, oh, that old ass nigga, they really only got their original fan base that's around their age. They don't, it's a disconnect with the youth. Everybody else that's older and up there in age, like from the Snoops to the Kanye's, all of them niggas still got a connection with the youth somewhere, somehow. I think, bro, right, you have to be tapped in with the youth.
I can't think of no artist that's relevant that's not connected to the youth no more.
Right.
Like none, zero. And everybody that usually dies out because they lost their youthful fan base for the most part. Because when you was hot, you probably had the youth with you for a second, and then you didn't keep up with the times or something else. You faded out.
Can I actually, all right, does Eminem, because Eminem, I don't want to say he connects with the youth because he's kind of been out the way. But if he was to say, I'm going to do a world tour, you don't think that'll sell out?
Eminem's white. He got white America.
Okay, so
That's
he's still
different.
connected to white youth.
White youth, they going to see girl.
Right, so
They never stop wanting to off their mom. That's going to be forever. That's going to be forever. So they're going to always connect.
Even his, not even that.
They'll always connect.
Fact, but they relate to him. And even the young youth still can relate to him.
All right, let me say this. All right, Outkast. They haven't done an album together. If they were to reunite, say, hey, man, we about to come up with a new album.
It's going crazy.
But let's just be real. The youth don't really know about Outkast.
It's not going to be the youth, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you don't have to connect to the youth to be successful.
I agree, yeah.
That's where I'm trying to get at.
What was
like?
They're already successful, but how many people you?
Well, we just said if they're older right now.
No, what I'm saying, let me finish.
My
If
bad,
they're older, he said, can they sell records? You have to be connected to the youth to be able to do that. These older people you naming, how many people we know right now that didn't connect to the youth that sold records? How many niggas that dropped albums that flopped? We went in and out, came in and went out.
I mean, how many young niggas that connect to the youth they flop too?
Yeah, they
so
flop as well. Good. I think it's
but y'all saying youth, and we're talking about established artists. We talking about Jay-Z. We're not talking about these new up and coming artists that never got to a plateau that he got to. I'm talking about successful rappers that was rapping, reached success, and kept being successful as such with a lyrical ability. It ain't too many you can even name on Jay-Z level to even have this discussion. It's about 5 people that we can even put out.
Typically, the youth don't like Jay-Z though.
No, look.
How you say that? I like Jay-Z.
But
I like Jay-Z when I was a youth.
No, but
Look, Nas just dropped. Didn't connect with the
Supreme,
youth.
DJ, yeah.
That shit was out of here. That shit wasn't even really connecting with the older niggas. Like, it was the niggas his age from the boom bap era that was fucking with that. The youth was like, I don't want to hear this shit. Even niggas our age was like, nah, this ain't it, Nas.
But when he dropped King's
Nas'
Disease,
reputation is what allowed people to have even an open ear to hear. Because we know he can spit some shit. Any given moment, he can cook something up.
If you still calling a gun a gat or a piece, you're not picking up on the new lingo. Like bro said, just something as simple as using the new lingo. That's like, okay, you tapped in. The fashion. You dressing like, you ain't got to dress like the young niggas, but you still got like street sense because hip hop is still from the streets. If you got zero connection to the streets, I don't see that shit taking off.
If you ain't talking about if you ain't mentioning that a nigga got a 30 or something, you out of touch.
But see, I disagree because
talking about a revolver.
I just think that again, so many fans have grown with these people, and they're just as mature now, and they don't want to hear about the 30. They don't want to hear about the Perkies and Durkee and all that. Them niggas want to hear about some high power messaging that only the older generation can really give us because they have the experience.
All right, so if we were to go to like a little Boosie concert, don't get me wrong, we want to hear Set It Off, but then we also too want to hear about what's the song he did when he was in jail? I got my toilet while I'm sitting. I got my 40 while I'm sitting on the toilet.
Paranoid, staying hard to get your ass hit. That's Maniac.
Boosie the main nigga tapped in with the youth.
That's what I was gonna get. You proving my
point. He the main
nigga. Boosie ain't relevant just based off of his music.
Boosie is connected to the youth because Set It Off made it where white people like it now. We're seeing it at white weddings and things like that. That song is a cult hit now. It wasn't
nothing to do with that,
bro. I'm saying you saying he's connected to the youth right now, but again, all right. So
you
Boosie was
proving my point. I'm saying,
let me ask you: if Boosie was having a concert right now, is it gonna be nothing but YNs there?
It's not, and that's not what I'm saying. We said, can you be able to sell records? That is the whole focal point. How many records Boosie just dropped? Do you know about it?
Nah, I don't.
None of y'all know about that. What I'm saying is Boosie's not selling records like a Kanye.
He's a social media personality that is funny, so niggas relevant. Stay tapped in because he's funny.
If Boosie was just doing music just alone,
he'd
be in the shadows like Webby.
So it's all right. Well, I don't know.
Without social media, Boosie cooked.
Well, social media, pretty much all besides Jay-Z, all rappers are cooked. Besides all the established, known legends, all rappers are cooked without social media.
Fab is Fab.
No, because Fab is cooked without the podcast right now. Ain't no young nigga right now.
Fab got the young nigga fashion. Fab got the lingo.
If Fab drops some shit, which that's all people want him to do, people are going to listen. Why you think so quick by his rap that he dropped against 50 went viral? Nobody else shit did. Fab was the only nigga that connect with the youth.
It was actually
facts out that whole group. Fab is the one that connect with the young niggas.
Because his music was actually good. That other shit was trash. That's why it didn't connect.
I just think at some point you
50.
I'm not saying he's making a. I just think you age out of that. I just think you age out of trying to connect with the youth so much. If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't.
What I'm saying is you still have to be more so relatable. If that wasn't the case, then why did like the flack from 444 get that? Because he went a whole different direction. Them old niggas wasn't out defending him talking about 444.
It didn't. I thought the 444 album did well. I thought it.
What I'm saying is,
they were saying that was his worst album when it dropped.
Yeah, and he was saying it was the hardest to make for him because he was so disconnected. So now, and why you think he didn't go sit down with no old person to do that interview? He had to find somebody youthful, right?
Yeah, he didn't go to Elliot
Wilson. He was
connected
to the youth still. Let me get somebody that connect with y'all so y'all can relate to somebody y'all age asking me these questions. Because that's where it come from. If they doing analytics, they're not going to look for people his age. But they're going to target the youth. That's why they target the youth now.
But the youth still go to the old heads for advice in podcasts and radio. Like you still people going to Big Boy. He's been in the game for years at a time. You still got people going to the Breakfast Club and they not no spring chickens. What I'm saying is it can sway, show. He's an older cat. You had Tigger.
You're talking about people that live in the music industry.
And I'd assume that
and that's a machine.
I'd assume that older people, we're still people are still getting shit from iTunes. People are still buying physical copies. The youth is solely streaming. So you're not gonna they're not going to shows, most of them, unless it's festivals and shit. When you go to these shows, it's
unless
like you said, 35-year-olds, 40-year-olds, niggas got wine and all type of shit, and they at these shows for a Jay-Z or for a Kendrick Lamar, etc. It's not 18-year-olds jumping in the crowd because they really can't even afford it. And now with streaming, they really far away from it. Or they just go on Amazon and purchase the show on there. But I think the physical sales, when you go to the concerts of these older people, is mostly people in their age demographic compared to the youth.